Hi guys, welcome. It's Amy with Stage Right Soaps. I hope you are having a fabulous week. Now, if you are new and you want to know more about why we're doing this video series or what the 2021 series is about or how to get your hands on it, check out the first video in this playlist. It's called Into the Stars, and there's a lot more information both on the intro and the outro that you might be interested in. But today we're going to jump right into actually making our soap. This is one that is inspired by a really family-friendly fun show that's coming next year, and that is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I wanted to play off the truly scrumptious idea, but give it a little more of a grown-up flair to it. So this is going to be how we make Truly Tempting. We are going to be doing a layered soap for Truly Tempting. Now, this is one that I wanted to do a little more indulgent, a little more kind of an adult kind of scent. That sounds a little bit funny, but not like jelly beans and super sugary kind of scent. So we are going with Raspberry Truffle by Brambleberry. It is a scent that has some fruit scents to it, but it has some really good notes of chocolate in there. And I won't lie, the first time I thought about doing a chocolate scented soaps and bath bombs, to me, that seemed like a weird scent combination kind of thing. So I got myself a little tester bottle of this and made a small batch, about 4 soaps for myself. And I think I have maybe half of 1 bar left because they all disappeared really, really quick. It's a very different scent. It's very intriguing. And when I put together the soap series each year, I try to find a different myriad of scents because not everything appeals to everyone. And sometimes it's just fun to discover new scents. So this one is definitely, like I said, it's got a very heavy chocolate notes in it. It's very intriguing. So now this one, because it does have vanillin in there, which is the vanilla scent, it will discolor to dark brown. So we're going to actually use that as part of our soap design, which is partly why we're doing a layered soap. So here we go. This first layer is going to be very, very straightforward. I've split my batch in half, so here's the first half. We're going to pour the first layer, let it set a little bit, and then we'll deal with the other half. Give this quick blend. Okay, so I'm going to take my lye water and just dump it in there gently. All right, I love seeing those two come together. It's always fun. Now, this recipe that I'm using today is, you can see it's already a lot thicker if you watched our Into the Stars video. This recipe here is already a lot thicker trace. It's got a very goopy feel to it. It's about medium trace at this point, which is good because this recipe, unlike Into the Stars, I want this to set up fast so that the layers stay layered, right, and they don't mix together. This recipe does have a lot of cocoa butter in here, which plays to the chocolate theme, but also plays to the kind of rich, indulgent feel of the bar. So for this first layer, all I'm really doing is I'm going to pour in our fragrance oil right there. I wish you could smell it, but you can't right now. It's just fabulous. I'm gonna save just a little bit, put that off to the side, and we'll use that again on the very top layer. Mix this in by hand. And I'm not going to add any colorant because this is going to turn that dark brown, and I want this to be basically the whole color from the first layer is going to come from our fragrance here, which is also why I want to make sure it's mixed in very evenly. grab my little mold here. And I'm basically going to just dump this in that mold. Scrape out the rest of that goodness in there. Beautiful. And that is basically layer one. We're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. You can see how incredibly wiggly it is right now. Of course, if I tried to put any layers on top of that, it would make absolutely no sense. It would not layer at all. So while layer one is very, very straightforward and easy, layered soaps are actually a little bit harder, for me at least, to do because I'm not always the most patient person. But fortunately, I'm going to go watch some Sugar Rush for 10 minutes, and we'll let this sit, and then we'll be back for the middle layer. All right, welcome back. It's been about 10 minutes. You can see that's not nearly as wiggly as before. So we are ready to go ahead and whip up our little white section in the middle. It's going to be sandwiched between our two chocolate sections. Give these oils a quick whip. Okay, and our lye water. Off to the side. I'm going to split out just about a third of this that we're going to end up coloring white. I know it looks really white now. And to be honest, I can leave it just that cream color, but I like the contrast of white, so that's what we're going with. Put the rest of that off to the side. So our white today, we are using titanium dioxide dispersed in oil. I'm going to do most of it in here. I'm going to save about a teaspoon for the top piece of chocolate, just to try lighten that up a little bit, give it some extra interest. The majority of it is going to go in here. Now we're not going to put any fragrance oil in this level, of course, because we do not want it to turn brown. But I'm also going to add just a little bit of color stabilizer to this white to help encourage it to not go brown. Because obviously when the soap is all together in one bar, that fragrance oil will migrate just a little bit. So we will encourage where we can. Make sure we've got that really well mixed in. And then for this middle layer, you can see I have chopped up some soap embeds that are raspberry colors to, again, give just a little more interest to this middle layer. Beautiful. All right, we're going to pour this right on top of our first layer. Pour it nice and close so it doesn't punch through. It shouldn't. That's had plenty of time to set up, and it is behaving beautifully. I've learned with layers, I just have to set a timer and walk away and do it in sections, which means layered soap takes longer to do. But I just am not patient enough to wait for it to set up if I'm sitting here watching it. And then I always punch through, which is great if you're doing a swirl. But if you're doing a layered, punching through isn't the most fabulous thing to do. Ooh, look at that. You know what, this makes me want that peppermint bark. I'm so excited, it's almost Christmas. Isn't that insane? I don't know where this year went. Or maybe I'm afraid to ask where this year went. Alrighty. Give that a gentle, not too much, knock on the counter to kind of clean up any bubbles that might be in there. Swirl some of, I can see some of that stabilizer that didn't quite mix. Perfect. Okay, we're going to let this sit for probably another 7 or 8 minutes, and then we will be back and add our top layer and then our texturing. All right, we are ready for our final layer. Move this out of the way. I'm going to give this a quick mix up just because it's been sitting. You can see that. Okay, and again to this top layer, no color, just the rest of the scent. And I totally just lied because we are going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide. Should be nicely mixed. The extra nice thing about this last layer is it's just sat long enough that it is at that perfect trace for doing some texturing. We don't really have to stop and wait. So, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm going to kind of do some bigger loops today because I want it to look a little bit like those when you get the box of truffles at Valentine's and they always have this like loopy chocolate drizzle on top. So we'll just do some big loopies for a moment. Okay, and when that's had enough time to sit, which is not going to be very long, but I'm actually going to come back and we have some raspberry toppers to put on this. So I just want to give it just enough time that they're not going to sink down into the soap. All right, so for this very top piece, we have our raspberries. These are all made out of soap dough to be specific. And then we also, to kind of offset those, we have some gold dusted leaves, which are also soap. Fine. I'm stalling for time because I don't know if I can do this with gloves on because they're not very precise. No, we're going to take them off. Shh, don't tell. Oh, be careful. I'm actually going to turn this around so it's facing me. You can see on my mold I've got lines drawn out where the bars should cut, just to make sure we don't cut in the middle of a raspberry, because that would be sad. I'll pop a leaf in there, come over a little bit and pop a leaf in there. Let's do 3. Boop. I want to make sure I push them down just enough into that soap to make sure they actually like stick. And then we're going to pop a raspberry. Beautiful. And another raspberry right there. And another leaf. Just going to push the raspberry down. Do that to pop up just a little bit. Let's do this leaf. Oh, he's really close to the edge. He might be a little bit in danger. Oh well. Life is full of risk. And, oh, let's do this one. This is a little bit different shaped leaf. I was having fun. Ew, that's way far down in the soap. I think we encouraged it where we wanted it to go now. Oh, I've only got 3 left and so many leaves to pick from. I think I like that one. And I think I like that one. And I think this one. So let's... right there. Kind of make that pop up a little bit. And then this one's a little bit of a twisted leaf. Ooh, I like that one. Look at the way that pops up. Oh, choices. You know what? I'm actually going to go with another twisted leaf for my end one down here. My little end friend. Put him right there. Oh, no. Boop, boop, boop. Beautiful. Look at our lovely row of raspberries. Okay, we're going to spray that with rubbing alcohol to help prevent soda ash. This is where we go through the Amy, stop touching things, stop messing with it, just let it be. But look how beautiful that swirl is. Why would you want to let that be? Got a little bit on that raspberry. Okay, we're gonna stop touching it. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna put this one to bed. We will be back tomorrow. I'm gonna probably be able to unmold it tomorrow. This is a thick recipe. It sets up really well. I may wait a few days to actually cut it because I want it to turn that dark brown before I cut it, because then you get that buttery color in the middle before it starts turning around. It's just kind of a fun surprise. That's not really a surprise because y'all know it's coming because I just told you about it, but it's really cool. Much cooler if the outside's already turned brown. So that's what we're going to run with. And I will see you later. Welcome back. It's the next day and we were able to unmold this bar. It is looking lovely. You can already see it's starting to darken. We have our lovely raspberries and their gold leaves, and you can see that swirl is just well defined and beautiful. Check out how even that pouring is. I won't lie, this is probably one of my best layered so far. It's just so crisp and clean. I hope that stays true. I mean, it's gonna stay true as we cut it. You can see that's just all the way around. So beautiful. So worth the time to just take your time and layer. So now this bar will continue to darken. I know I said that a lot. But just to give you an idea, this is the one we made yesterday. You can compare it to the video and the pictures from yesterday and see how much darker that already is. But this is from the first batch, which I did about 5 or 6 days ago. You can see, whoa, look how chocolatey and fabulous that looks. You can see there's a whole row of them back there in the corner still that are out to cure. But look at that. So we are going to get our little cutter out. All right, here we go. Big breath in and let it out. And that is how you make Truly Tempting. I hope you had a good time and that you learned something, but mostly I hope you were able to just take that moment to relax and breathe and enjoy the quiet. I deliberately don't put music where the cut is because I want you to have that minute to just focus on the satisfying cut and the quiet of the moment, and not get distracted by whatever soundtrack I want to throw in that day. I'm not going to announce what I'm going to do next week, mostly because I have 2 different options that are kind of vying for my attention, and I want to give myself enough wiggle room that if one inspires me more during the week, I can head that direction. But we will get all the shows in, and I will let you know when each video is posted. So until then, I hope you have a fabulous week.